Gird up the loins of your mind, be sober, and have hope. Now, this is all in 1 Peter chapter number 1, verse number 13. We talked about this yesterday on the broadcast, about the concept of girding up your loins to indicate action. You're moving toward a mark. You're moving toward a prize. And Brother Peter is saying it's hope, moving toward hope, and allowing to our minds to dispel despair and things that cause us to be weighed down by these things. But now we finish the verse, and he says, have hope in the grace of the revelation of Jesus Christ. Now, I read that, and my mind immediately went back to something that I have taught on this radio broadcast so many times, and to my congregation at Freedom Road. And it takes me back to John chapter 3, where a man by the name of Nicodemus came to Jesus at night. And every time I asked this question to somebody who has not heard this teaching, I asked them, I said, well, what was it that Nicodemus wanted to know? And everybody says, he wanted to know how to get born again. And I said, nope, that's not right. That's not what Nicodemus came to ask Jesus. What Nicodemus came to ask Jesus was, what about the miracles? He said, how do you do the miracles? And that's when Jesus volunteered the information, and he said, you must be born again. And he described to him what Peter is referring to here as the revelation of Jesus Christ and his grace. And the thing is, that does not come from the human mind or the human intellect. This is spiritual. Just like it was in the 16th chapter of the book of Matthew, when Jesus says to his disciples, he said, who do men say that I am? And the disciples said, one said, well, some say you are Elias returned. Others say you are John the Baptist returned. And then Jesus turned to his disciples and he said, but who do you say that I am? And Peter, the author of the book that we are studying here, Peter, he's the one that says, thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. And you remember what Jesus said? You remember what Jesus said to Peter? He said, Simon, son of Jonas, flesh and blood has not revealed this to you. No, no, no. Flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father in heaven. In other words, it was a spiritual revelation. This is what Peter's talking about here. Gird up the loins of your mind, be sober, have hope, and allow your heart to become aware of the spiritual reality of Christ Jesus and his wonderful work of grace. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.